how culture has impacted everything that we do, how culture has changed from what we used to call, or what we called, the global world to what we call today the post-global world. And then we'll see how that impacts Israeli business culture. So I'd like to define first what cultural competency is. So it's an individual's capability to manage culturally diverse settings, to have the knowledge and the skills and the abilities to enable us to detect, assimilate, reason, and act on cultural cues appropriately, knowing what to do, when to do, with whom to do, and what to refrain from doing. And it comes from what we had, IQ, first IQ, and then EQ, which is emotional intelligence. What we had in the past, first of all, we had very defined borders. And within those defined borders, we could also define culture. Okay? How we would be able to differentiate how does Russian negotiation styles differ from Israeli negotiation styles. How do communication styles in Sweden would be different from communication styles in Russia? How do we solve conflicts in Korea as opposed to solving conflicts in Saudi Arabia? How important is it to build a relationship before we get down to business, or is the transaction more important? And if I convert this to terms that we all understand, do we first go out for a beer and get to know each other and then get down to business? Or do we first sign the contract and then go celebrate? And this is exemplified as follows. If you look at the illustration on the right-hand side, you can see that information sharing and even decision making across the ranks is free. So this person here, if he has an idea that his supervisor doesn't think might be a great idea, he has the ability to go above him to the top of the pyramid and present his idea. Okay? And that's very different than in a hierarchy of organizational culture where you have the typical pyramid and you have the status, the rank, the privilege up here, and everybody interacts within their level of rank, and there's no way that this person here would be able to interact or connect with the president of the company. So that's the difference between hierarchy and egalitarianism. Agreements can be changed even after they're finalized. This is something that drives the European colleagues nuts, crazy, that Israelis at the last minute, once there's already a contract that has been worked on for months, they will say, no, but wait a second, we need to change something here. And this is so contrary to European culture that often they don't know how to deal with it. Working styles are very quick action, decision making. Everything is very fast paced, and emphasis is of course always on out of the box thinking. There's a saying that in America everything is allowed until forbidden. In Europe everything is forbidden even when it's allowed. And in Israel, everything that is not allowed is also allowed. So, and this is very much on the basis of that kind of a thinking. How comfortable are we taking risks when we don't have the clear picture, when that whole path is not mapped out for us? How comfortable do we feel? There are cultures who are not risk comfortable, and there are cultures who are risk comfortable. Process versus results. Do we need to plan our entire project together? Do we need to sit here for the next 6 months and we plan every single milestone, including solutions to problems that might come up? And when we've done that whole planning, that's the day that we start the project. Or are we more like Israelis? We have an idea today, we plan it tomorrow, and next week we start. Okay, so this is a little bit extreme, right? But taking again US and also many of the Western European countries, we plan. okay? We have to have more or less a clear idea of where we're going, okay? Somebody said here in the beginning, short-term planning. Israel is excellent in short-term planning. It's the long-term that we're lacking, and there are many cultures that they don't know how to work with that. They need to have it planned, and they need to have all the milestones in place, and only then, when they feel totally comfortable that it will work, will they start.